says, you can imagine crypto replacing the US dollar. Quote, US isolationism could undermine the dollar's status as the world's reserve currency, Lazard Chief Executive Officer Ken Jacobs said. To the extent that we have unilateral foreign policy and unilateral trade policy, we're sort of tempting the world to find an alternative, he said in a Bloomberg television interview. Probably the greatest demonstration of soft power is the fact that the US has the reserve currency of the world. So he says Bitcoin could replace the US dollar.
Well, we're right on track from what we predicted on this show 5 years ago, that at some point the various nation states would have to give up and realize that their fiat money currency systems from central banks don't work. Even Martin Wolf, who's one of the most blue-blooded establishment hacks of the Financial Times, is now essentially espousing Bitcoin and full reserve banking over fractional reserve skullduggery and property market Ponzi schemes in the UK. That's quite a turnaround.
Yeah, but the fact that Lazard Bank is also saying this, and they're the most establishment bank, French bank, and
well, Lazard Frères, Felix Rohatyn, which was their CEO back in the 70s and 80s, they orchestrated the Municipal Assistance Corporation, or MAC, bond turnaround for New York City. They're the go-to advisors for the insiders of these various nation states, and they have a great reputation. And they see the writing on the wall. They realize that Bitcoin is about to kill all fiat currencies, deader than a bag of hammers.
But you and I have also said here on Kai's Report, you heard this here first, we did say on Kai's Report years ago that when the U.S. started using unilateral power, the fact that we're in a unipolar world led by the U.S. as an empire, they do have a lot of power, but they don't, because as soon as they use their unilateral power, alternatives spring up. When they start imposing restrictions on people accessing the global financial system through SWIFT, for example, we said Bitcoin's going to be used as an alternative, or gold or something like that. So this is what we're seeing with statements like this coming from Lazard Bank. It's not like it's coming from RBS, which has no power on the world stage. Lazard does.
There's two mutually exclusive pieces.
So very interesting, and I don't think it's anytime soon where Bitcoin will kill the US dollar or replace the US dollar, but it's an interesting concept because it is true that obviously there's a lot of countries, primarily China and Russia, that do not like the fact, and even the other oil countries as well, that do not like the US dollar and do not want to use the SWIFT banking system. So they are looking for alternatives, and that's why there is a lot of future promise in cryptocurrencies. And like I said, if the U.S. continues to make people upset, the way we're going with our trade wars and everything like that, it's just going to help accelerate and fuel the use of cryptos and people wanting to move off of the dollar. But there's other factors as well that I've mentioned in this channel. One is obviously central banks just printing too much money, and obviously not the U.S., but other countries that have serious inflation problems. But let me know your thoughts on this and what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys soon.